Coming up on the Hilton Head News, we'll learn about one group's efforts to curb underage drinking. School board member Julie Bell tells us about the Low Country Alliance for Healthy Youth. Also ahead, an update on the efforts of the Mitchellville Preservation Project from LaVon Stevens. And we'll let you know about the Binyah Foundation in our Defusky Island report. Stay tuned, the Hilton Head News is next. Welcome to the Hilton Head News. Here are the headlines for Thursday, August 23rd. Across the country, the number of West Nile virus cases is 3 times the usual number for this time of year. Here in South Carolina, there has also been an uptick in reports. After no cases were reported in 2011, South Carolina has had 22 confirmed cases this year, which include 12 humans, 8 birds, and 2 animals. That word from a spokesperson with the South Carolina Department of Health and Environmental Control. Only about 1 in 5 people get sick when infected with the virus by a mosquito bite. Of those who are infected, 1 in 150 will develop severe symptoms, including neck stiffness, disorientation, coma, and paralysis. Now, the best way to prevent getting the West Nile virus is to avoid mosquito bites by using insect repellents, putting screens on doors and windows, wearing long sleeves and pants when going outdoors, and emptying standing water from places like buckets and kiddie pools. A University of South Carolina freshman was arrested Tuesday after police found handguns in his dorm room on the Columbia campus. 17-year-old Trevor Stevens of Walterboro was charged with possession of a firearm on a school campus. According to an arrest warrant, police found 5 handguns in his dorm room after receiving a report of a student with a gun in his room on Tuesday afternoon. A university official says Stevens has been suspended, banned from campus, and ordered to avoid contact with students, faculty, or staff. Stevens was released on bond Wednesday and returned home to stay with his parents. He faces a maximum of 5 years in prison and a $5,000 fine. It's a felony in South Carolina to carry a weapon onto school property without permission. The estate of an 82-year-old woman killed at a Rock Hill assisted living home last year is suing the home and 2 of its employees. Pauline Cook was found dead in her shower back in November at Bridge Terrace. Her death occurred 1 day after she reported to staff and police that someone had been forging her checks. Police say nurse's aide Brackett Walton confessed to killing Cook and then tried to cover up the crime. The lawsuit accuses the owner of Bridge Terrace of wrongful death, negligence, and misconduct. It also claims that the home's resident nursing director and a cook knew about Walton's alleged thefts and could have stopped her from killing Cook. A former human resources director in Hanahan is facing charges of embezzling public funds. The Post and Courier reports that Berkeley County Sheriff's deputies arrested 31-year-old Kayonda Gary earlier this week. It's alleged that in June, Gary deposited $10,000 in city funds into her bank account. The city administrator says Gary had worked for the city since June of last year and was put on leave August 3rd and then resigned on August 8th. Close to 300 members of South Carolina's Air National Guard are back home after a 4-month deployment to Afghanistan. The commander of the 169th Fighter Wing thanked family members, civilian employers, and the community for their support as the unit was welcomed home on Wednesday. Pilots, maintenance specialists, and support staff provided air support to ground units in Afghanistan. Staffers from South Carolina congressional offices are touring military sites in the Lowcountry so backers can show off their best points in advance of a potential federal budget cut. The group is visiting the Marine Corps Air Station in Beaufort, the Marine Corps Recruit Training Depot on Parris Island, and the Naval Hospital in Beaufort. Those taking the tour work with Senators Jim DeMint and Lindsey Graham, as well as Representatives Tim Scott, James Clyburn, Trey Gowdy, and Mick Mulvaney. Authorities are seeking 2 more suspects in the shooting death of an Horry County man and his son. Police say they have warrants for Nehemiah Evans of Nichols and Odom Bryant of Tabor City, North Carolina. Police have charged 40-year-old Sandy Locklear of Tabor City with shooting and killing her 66-year-old husband, Amos Hatfield, and his son, 40-year-old Thomas Hatfield, at their Loris home early Sunday. Officials say Amos Hatfield had bought a Tabor City home for his wife in June while he lived with his son in Loris. Governor Nikki Haley traveled the state Wednesday, saying she has a plan that would strengthen the state's ethics laws. The governor toured the state with State Attorney General Alan Wilson and unveiled a 5-point ethics reform proposal. Republican Speaker of the House Bobby Harrell of Charleston says that Haley is trying to hijack the efforts of lawmakers who've been working on ethics reform legislation for months. Haley's office replied that Harrell's comments prove that he agrees with the governor's reform initiatives. Well, South Carolina lacks a system for tracking deadbeat dads and deadbeat moms online, and that's close to 25 years after federal law required that the state do so. The Palmetto State is the only state that has not complied with a 1988 law that requires a centralized computer system to enforce child support payments. The state has been paying fines since missing the 1997 deadline. Each year, that amount has risen, and this year's penalty is $11 million. According to the Greenville News, the computer system will cost taxpayers $116 million by the time that it's in place next summer.
This weather report brought to you by Beaufort Memorial Bluffton Medical Services, offering Beaufort Memorial's quality care close to home.
On Friday, we'll have a slight chance of showers and thunderstorms, mostly cloudy with a high of 82, a low around 73. On Saturday, mostly sunny, a high of 85, a low of 75. Again, a slight chance of showers and thunderstorms. Sunday will be mostly sunny, a high of 84, a low of 75. And on Monday, mostly sunny, slight chance of showers and thunderstorms, a high of 85, a low of 76. When we come back, an update on the Mitchellville Preservation Project with LaVon Stevens.
Mitchellville is the site of the first self-governed freedmen's village in the country. This happened in 1862.